Welcome back. Today we are going to talk about how to use Obsidian to manage all of your projects and your tasks and keep all of the important information right there together. When you need to work on something, the tasks are right there. When you need to remember something about the project, the information is right there. Let's jump right into it. And I'm going to show you a little bit about my workflow that I have, and then I'm going to show you how to set it up on your own. So first of all, I just have a daily note every day that automatically brings in my quarterly goals, and then it has a morning ritual, tasks I've worked on, and so forth. What I'm going to show you how to do today is to set up a main project dashboard. Essentially, there is a little bit of manual work to this, but it is going to be well, I hope it blows your mind like it blew mine, because I was finding that I like all of the information about a project in one place. I don't want to have to jump to a task list or a project management system that is separate from where I'm keeping the information about my project. And that's kind of a struggle I'd been having when I was trying to use any other project management system. I started using Obsidian and I created a page that was all of my ongoing projects. Let me open that up and show it to you. So here's welcome to my main project list. This is essentially the dashboard where I keep all of my ongoing projects. This list may look pretty small right now, but I'm going to show you the magic of the system, okay? So for example, I have published my scholarship and research, be the go-to person in my field. That's one of my major goals and visions for my career. When I open this toggle up, I see a list of significant projects that I have ongoing. One of them is to submit this reflective practices paper. And if I toggle this, then you can see that I have my task list right here in the spot. You also see this little link. This means that this task list is pulling in from somewhere else. If I want to see exactly where it's pulling in from, or I want more information, I can hover over the name of the note. This is a linked note in Obsidian, and I can scroll through and look at the information here, and you will see that the week 2 writing list, week two writing list is right here, this heading level, and this information is what's pulled in right here. I can also access it by, if I hold down the key and then press this, it goes right to the main reflective practices project. It's in a writing status. I don't have a title for it yet. It is not published because it's in process. I don't have a link because it's not published yet. It is a research article, keywords, we'll just do reflective practice for now. I can add other keywords. It's part of my scholarship area of life. Okay. And then I have some information. Here's a link out to the Google folder. This is a collaborative project. So when I link out to the main Google folder, it opens all of the information about this project in my Google Drive. So I have the link here because this is a collaborative project. I am working with other people on the project, and having it link out in that way just gives me easy access. Okay, and this is really just, it's just a link. Okay, and then I have my project task list and then specific revision tasks. And again, I can toggle these all closed. I'm done with week 1 and I'm on to week 2. This is the heading that I copied and put onto the project list so that when I'm right on the project list, I don't get distracted by all the other details and information in that sheet. I just can look at, here are the things I'm supposed to be doing. When I work on those, I can also link back and give information about what I did in that actual project document. So I'm going to show you how to create this on your own. Here's one where I haven't done that process yet because I was having task lists here, and then I thought, well, I want them on the project page itself. So let's just go through a quick example of how you set it up so that the project list is on the project and not here, but then if you just look at the project, it's not there. So I'm actually just going to copy this, or actually I'm going to cut it and move it over here. So when I open this up, here is a task list actually for this project, and I'm just going to add these tasks right to the beginning of the project. This task list, I want it to show up right here on this, under this area where it says to draft this. And I actually am just going to put in my little green circle because this is an ongoing project that I am currently working on. So let's make that happen. There we go. All right. To make that task list show up, here is the amazing thing about Obsidian. I'm just going to copy this. It's this one, so I'm going to hit enter. And at this point, when I embedded it, it embedded the entire document. And I don't want that because when I look at this, I just want to see the tasks. So I'm going to go in and edit this link, and I'm going to put a hashtag right there. And that tells me that I want to look at the heading levels. So I'm going to click here on heading 2, and that embeds just the task list for this project. I can't edit this task list from this view, but I can click things off of the task list from this view. If I wanted to go in to the actual list and make changes, then I would click here and it will open the actual project list and it highlights what part of the page it's on. Right? So I'm going to help you get this set up in your system. Okay, to get Obsidian and get started, you're going to go to obsidian.md. And then just to tell you about the pricing, it is free for individual use. They also have a discount if you want to use their sync system to get your files synced to their system so you can access it on multiple computers. The documents within Obsidian are all just Markdown files, which are a special kind of text file. So you can access it from any text reader on any computer. If you use their sync system, it's end-to-end encrypted, and then you can access it on a work computer, a home computer, your phone. I have a phone app as well. But just the Obsidian to have the vault on your computer is completely free. And by vault, I mean folder. So you're just going to go to download and pick, I'm on Mac, so it's telling me that there, but it has it for iOS, Android, Windows, Linux, all the ways, okay? The first time you open it, it is going to look a little bit like, it's going to look a little bit like this. You're not going to have all these on the side. This is my actual vault that we were just in. And again, a vault is just a collection of folders. So you are going to want to create a new vault, and I'm just going to do that now. Practice vault. Practice ABC. How about we do that? Okay. And you're going to pick the place on your computer where you want it. I have a folder on my computer called vaults, and I have mine personal OS. Again, it's just a bunch of files on the computer. And then I have some others that I've gotten from other places as examples. I will provide this practice for you if you would just reach out to me, and I can give you a copy of this one that I'm going to make and practice right now. So I'm going to put it in this folder. I'm just going to click open, and it's going to be in my folder in a section called vaults. I'm going to click create. Now, the first time you go into Obsidian, you're just going to have this one welcome note that says, this is your vault. Make a note of something, create a link, or try the importer. Importer is if you're bringing in notes from Evernote or some other system. When you're ready, you can delete this note and make the vault your own. So we're just going to go ahead and delete this note. Yes, I really want to delete it. I'm going to close that for now. And here's what you need to know. For the most part, you don't have to have this folder, but I'm going to show you some things. Okay, so we're going to create a new note, and we're going to call this project list. Okay, and when I give it the heading and then press enter, there it is. That's the name of this note. So everything within Obsidian is a note or a folder. So I'm just going to click these three little buttons here and say reveal in Finder, because I just want to show you that all this is a document inside a folder. So remember, I saved it in vaults, and then practice ABC. This is our first note, project list, right? And MD is a Markdown file, which is just a special type of text file that can be opened on any text reader. I'm going to keep this open over here so you can kind of see what's going on and what we're up to here, okay? All right, so I have my project list, and to make a new heading, you use Markdown syntax. So I'm going to do a level 2 heading. My level 1 is Kimberly. Oh, you have to put a space or it thinks it's a hashtag. Kimberly's important projects. Okay, so all of it's my important projects. Level 2 heading. So maybe I want to do teaching projects. And then I want one that is service to university. Again, put that space, service to profession, university service, professional service. We'll call that good for now. Okay, so teaching, service, and now I want my scholarship or research. You could call it either one, of course. Teaching, service, scholarship. We're going to just start here for now. Okay, so suppose that you have, and I like to use emojis here. You do not have to use emojis, of course, but I like to use this one for my scholarship. Now, under here, these are second level headings, 1, 2. So now I'm going to create a third level heading that is the name of a research project. So we're going to call this project article 1. And I'm going to call it submit. Submit article 1. The reason I'm saying submit is because I want an action verb. Like, what is this actual project that I am working on? Okay, you'll see why I do that in just a minute. To make a project page for this, I'm just going to highlight the whole thing, and then I'm going to click the brackets, okay? And I'm going to put 2 of them. And when I do, it automatically creates the end bracket, and you see this is now purple and looks kind of like a link. If I click this link, it takes me to the article page. So this is where I would have information about the specific articles. But the important thing we're working on today is tasks. So article 1 task list. Okay. And to make a task, we actually need to install a plugin. So I'm going to go to settings and community plugins. Now, this is the first time I've used this vault, so it's telling me that my plugins are not on, and the community plugins are produced by people, not Obsidian itself. So you just want to be a little cautious. The plugins that I'm sharing are highly tested and vetted. So I just click to accept that, and then I'm going to browse the plugins, and I'm going to look up tasks. Actually, you could see it right there. It's been used over 1 million times, which means this is a really important one, useful one that people trust and like. You can read some information about how it works here. I'm going to show you a little bit of that, but feel free to check into all that. So you're going to click install, and then you need to enable it. At the moment, I'm not even going to worry about the options, okay? So I'm just going to close out of that. And now, here's my article 1 task list. To create a task, I'm just going to press a hyphen, and then the square bracket and the left bracket automatically comes, and I'm going to put a space between it. And when I space after it, it automatically creates a task item. So this would be look at different journals and decide which to submit this article to. Okay. Now you'll notice that I have some options: a due date, a start date, a scheduled date, high priority, medium priority. Here we go. So I'm going to say this is due today, and it is high priority, right? Okay. Now the next one is I want to read a new article from this journal. And I probably want to do that 3 times, but I'm going to put a starting date for today, and I'm going to put that it is medium priority, and I'm going to put that it is a recurring event, and it is every day. Okay. I might not really do that every day. I'm just giving you some examples of how this works. Okay. And let's just add one more task here for good measure. What other task would we like to add here? Draft the methods section of the paper. Now, this is more how I work, is I usually don't end up having, this is kind of how I work. I usually don't put due dates on specific tasks because I work kind of on a loop schedule. I learned this when I was homeschooling my kids when they were younger. So for example, every day we might do, reading, right? Every day we might do math, but some subjects we did not do every single day. We would have a block of time in our schedule, maybe on Thursday afternoons, that was called loop time. And during loop time, we would rotate between things like history, science, art, music, and so forth. So during that day, when it got to Thursday, I didn't have a specific, I'm doing exactly this. because some Thursdays maybe we weren't available, someone was sick, and so forth. So I would just do the next lesson for the next thing. So I would have a loop schedule: history, science, art, music, for example. So I would start with history, and then next week I would move to science, and the next week I would move to art, and the next week I would move to music. You could have a loop schedule 2 or 3 days a week, it doesn't matter. So my point is, if something happened and we didn't get to history that week, that's okay, because I'll just do history next week, because that's the next thing on the list. And when I get to the bottom, I move back to the top. So if history were only scheduled the first Thursday of the month and we didn't get to do it that Thursday, I wouldn't want to wait a whole nother month. So this loop idea of just do the next thing on the list, which is how I like to do my research. So during scholarship time, I don't say I'm definitely going to get that 100% done that day. You know, sometimes things take longer, sometimes things take shorter time, and I don't want to adjust all those due dates. So I create just the task, and then when it's time to work on it, I open the list and I just start doing the next thing without a specific due date. This is my article 1, right? This is the first article, and here's my task list. And down here, I could say details about the project. And I could use various level headings. Next, important heading. I have this under scholarship. I have a goal of submitting article 1. Now, when I look at this list, I want to be able to see what the tasks are for article 1. So Obsidian, just a bunch of files, right? And you can see that here in this list. I have article 1 as a file, and you can see it's just a text file over here in the sidebar. You can see that. And then I have the project list, which is what we have right here. So I want to pull in and be able to see information that's in article 1, but I want it to show up on the project list. So here's the magic. I'm going to put an exclamation point, and then I'm going to double bracket, because that'll create a link. And you notice when I create the double brackets that it gives me a list of files that I already have available in my system. So I'm going to click it to article 1. But when I do that, you notice I end up with all of the information. I don't want all the information from article 1 here. I just want to see the task list. So I'm going to go back in and edit this link just a little bit. I'm going to use a hashtag or pound symbol. And now it shows me the headings that are within that document. So I'm going to click this heading, article 1 task list. And now the task list is here in Obsidian on my main project list page. Hide it if I don't want to see it, and open it up if I do. Same with the scholarship tasks. If I don't want to see any of them, I just want to see the main headings, there they go. If I want to see all of the articles I need to do, and if I want to look at a specific task list. Let's do another so you can get an idea of what this really looks like when you have multiple lists at the same time. Now I'm going to do another scholarly project, and here's why I say submit article 1, because that's my final result of that project. I could break it down smaller and say to draft article 1 or so forth. Here's another example. There's an edited volume that had a call for papers. So the first time I had this on my list, I said submit abstract for book chapter project. So when I come in here, I had things like editor information, and I linked to person 1, person 2. Then I could be down here. I'm actually going to turn that into a number 3 heading, because just above that, I'm going to put a 2 heading that says task lists. Once I finish the proposal, I will have other tasks that I need to do, so, which is actually draft the chapter. So draft chapter task list. I have a draft chapter checklist, and I have a proposal checklist. Now, when I go back to my project list, I'm going to want to add the task list right under this. I can see it in a big overall view, what are on my projects and what are the tasks that need to happen related to those projects. I'm gonna exclamation point to make magic happen, and I'm going to do my book chapter project. That lists everything there, and I don't want everything there. So I'm going to use the hashtag, and then that gives me just a list of the headings, and I don't want the whole task list. At this point, I just want the proposal task list. Do you see that? Then I can check things off from here. And when I go into the book chapter project, you can see that those are updated and checked off as well. Once I'm finished with this project, I will put a big green check mark on it because I am finished with it. I still then need to submit. So this is going to be another project, submit chapter for book chapter project. Again, it's the book chapter project, and I'm going to put my little hash symbol, and I'm going to do the draft checklist. Then I'm going to need to submit, then I'll have revise and resubmit, and at that point I can come in here and add a new checklist. And in my system I have templates set up. So then when I am looking at my project list and this whole thing is finished, and I can change this out if I don't want to look at the draft chapter checklist anymore, then I would just get rid of this part, the actual heading, and move on to the revise and resubmit checklist. So I can update this page, but keep all the information about all the steps that I've done here in this part of the system, which is beautiful in my opinion. I love it. Just as a reminder, these are just text files. So you can see in my practice vault, I have article 1, book chapter, and project list. If you get a lot of notes in here, you might want to create folders. So you would click new folder, scholarship, and I'm going to put those projects all inside there. There are lots of ways to organize this. You can fall down entire rabbit holes on YouTube and so forth about how to organize this. And my most important thing for today that I want to share was you can create one project page and then have all of your information there. I hope that is helpful. If you found it helpful, please click like and subscribe, maybe even share it with a friend, because Obsidian is an amazing tool to use. If you have other questions about how to use Obsidian, drop a comment below. I'd be happy to make some additional videos and answer more questions. I do have a couple of other ideas about what I want to talk about, some things I've helped some of my clients with in getting their Obsidian systems set up. Until next time, keep exploring to find what works for you.